Welcome back, explorers. Brian here. Real quick, what comes to mind when you hear the word China? Maybe it's the vast array of tasty Chinese cuisine, or all the products made in China, the millions of people in crowded cities, perhaps the country's extensive history, or the towering statues of Buddha. Maybe it's the colorful lanterns, or the contrast between classic and modern. Well, whatever it is, we'll probably see it today as we visit China. During our tour today, we have a few specific objectives, namely to identify and compare the regions of China, analyze the population of the nation, and examine the culture. China is generally broken into four distinct regions. The Northeast, the densely populated administrative center of the nation. Southeast China, the agricultural region that is now the center of the nation's economy. The Northwest, with its sparse population and rugged landscape. And Southwest China, featuring the Tibetan Plateau and surrounding mountains. This region includes Beijing, China's capital and a major industrial power. The nation's center of government, including the Forbidden City Imperial Palace, has been located in the northeast throughout China's history. Most of the historic Great Wall of China lies in this region, as it was built to protect the capital. Meanwhile, the Yellow River, site of one of the world's earliest cultural hearths, flows almost 3,400 miles across northern China. The Yellow River Valley remains a vast lowland agricultural center with highly fertile soil carried by water and wind from Mongolia. The yellowish loam, which is fertile soil with sand, silt, and clay, gives the river its name. The river is a transportation route and used by millions for drinking water. It's also highly unpredictable, drying up for months at a time, then flooding in other instances. In fact, an 1877 flood killed more than 1 million people. This region has evolved into China's primary economic corridor. It is home to Shanghai, the nation's largest city and a major port, as well as important cities such as Hong Kong, Macau, and Shenzhen. Special economic zones have been implemented in this region near technological and investment centers in Taiwan, Macau, and Hong Kong. Low tax rates and fewer government restrictions attract foreign investors, and the results have been rapid growth and development, along with massive migration to these areas from all over China. More mountainous than the Northeast and with a warmer, wetter climate, the Southeast remains important to farming for the nation. Rice, the main crop, is grown using terraces, and double cropping, or growing more than one crop on land in a year's time, is common. This region is also where silk was first produced, helping spark early trade. The Yangtze River Valley is the primary waterway, serving as an east to west transportation artery for 600 miles from the coast to Wuhan. The massive Three Gorges Dam was built to help control flooding. The stark Gobi Desert to the north, the Taklamakan Desert to the west, and harsh Tian Shan Mountains in the northwest dominate the sparsely populated northwest region. The soil is sandy, which is another reason little agriculture exists here. Most settlements were founded along oases from the days of the Silk Road. The region's largest city is Urumqi, with a population of more than 4 million. That total makes it only the 23rd largest city in China. Most inhabitants are nomadic herders, while some farming exists through underground irrigation. The Tibetan Plateau and surrounding mountains highlight the southwest region. The Kunlun Shan Range borders the plateau to the north, while the Himalayas lie to the south. The plateau is the world's largest and highest at more than 14,000 feet, while many mountain peaks exceed 20,000. It is breathtaking. This region, more than any other, is traditional and distinctly Buddhist. Tibet was actually an independent theocracy led by the Dalai Lama from 1911 through 1950, until China reasserted control over the region. Today, China allows more open practice of religion as the Tibetans cling to their culture, although issues still arise. An influx of immigrants from other regions continues to reshape the plateau's cultural identity. Please pause here while you write your response in the lesson PDF. Why do you believe the Chinese government relented in allowing Tibetans to openly practice Buddhism and other cultural characteristics? The U.S. has the third largest population in the world, with more than 331 million people. China's population is about 4 times that number. To put China's enormous population of over 1.4 billion people into perspective, let's look at it this way. That's more than North America, and all of Latin America, and Oceania combined. The nation of China has more people than the continent of Africa as well. Despite the huge population, China shares a common culture and language. In fact, Mandarin is the most widely spoken native language in the world. 16 of the world's 60 largest cities are in China, including Shanghai and Beijing, 2 of only 8 cities on the planet with at least 20 million people. Cities such as these are where most Chinese families live. The country has a population density of 397 people per square mile, 4 times that of the U.S., but a majority of the population is in the large eastern megacities. The population explosion occurred under Mao Zedong's early rule, as he encouraged Chinese families to have more children, partly to discourage incursion by outsiders. In 1950, China's population was 550 million. By the late 1980s, that number had doubled. Overcrowding and famine became serious problems throughout the 1960s, prompting Mao to call for 2-child families. Deng Xiaoping assumed control of China in the 1970s and soon adopted a one-couple, one-child policy. Families were incentivized with better housing, better jobs, and better pay. Couples who failed to follow the policy were fined, given inferior housing, had wages cut and lost their jobs, and were subject to social disapproval. Population growth slowed, particularly in urban areas. The shift from commune agriculture to contracts placed more emphasis on family farm labor, prompting many rural couples to ignore the propaganda. Under international criticism, China shifted to more non-coercive measures such as family planning and counseling. The population maintains a more steady growth rate as of 2022, while average life expectancy is 76, better than the worldwide average. These measures were all made to prevent future famine and ensure China can feed its people. So, based on this information, what are some measures that China can take in order to prevent future famine caused by overpopulation? Chinese culture is, well, both simple and complicated. For example, there are 55 different ethnic groups and more than 300 living language dialects in the country. Those 55 ethnic groups include Mongols, Uyghurs, Tibetans, and Kazakhs. In total, they represent only 9% of the Chinese population. The rest, 91%, belong to the Han ethnic group, descendants of the Han Dynasty, which dates back to 200 BCE. Mandarin Chinese has been the official language since 1956 and is uniform across the nation. The written language is non-phonetic and uses ideograms, which are pictures and characters that represent an idea. Learning at least 2,000 characters will allow you to read Chinese at a basic level. Mastering the language means you can read at least 20,000 characters. So here's a question. Do you think it's easier for an American student to learn Chinese or for a Chinese student to learn English? And explain. The 3 primary religions of China are Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, which are largely considered philosophies as well. Many practice a combination of more than one of these, which are referred to often as the 3 teachings. Coincidentally, China is officially an atheist state, meaning the existence of God is denied. When the Mao-led communist government took over China, it was taught that religion was a myth to oppress workers. Practices such as meditation are part of a 2,000-year history of a healthy lifestyle mindset. Special diets, herbal remedies, breathing exercises, massage, and acupuncture are all part of their approach to health and in keeping the body in harmony with the environment. Similarly, the ancient martial art of Tai Chi, a defense training, has health benefits and includes meditation. Chinese food is diverse, based on culinary history and geographic regions, and is actually categorized into the 8 major cuisines, differentiated by shaping, flavoring, and heating. In general, rice is a staple in the South, noodles are preferred in the North, and pork constitutes about 75% of meat consumption. About 56 million tourists visit China each year. All expect to see the blend of modern architectural genius and ancient temples, historical marvels such as the terracotta warriors and the Great Wall, as well as new wonders such as skyscrapers towering over the masses. Which begs the question, if you were planning a trip to China, what are 3 stops you would place on your travel itinerary? And why did you choose these places? China is one of the most diverse and fascinating places on the planet. There's something for everyone. Hopefully you'll return one day, but for now, it's on to our next stop. Until next time, keep exploring.
Hey!